So, cosmetic surgery has helped a lot of people feel more comfortable in their own skin, but what happens when your skin doesn't stay the same? Not so comfortable anymore, huh? Celebs have received plastic surgery very young, are now warning the new wave of young stars against getting plastic surgery procedures until they're older. But some ignored naysayers, going on to destroy their faces and bodies, and maybe now even their careers. Erin Moriarty has become the new face, literally, of young celebrities giving into public perception and beauty standards, partly because the dichotomy found in her getting plastic surgery when her character, Starlight, in the show that launched her fame, The Boys, struggles with media attention on her body and face and receiving pressure to look a certain way and appease beauty standards. For fans of her character to see Erin undergo surgery for the exact thing Starlight was trying to run from, it caused a mass wave on social media. It became the epicenter of a conversation on young women being deeply affected by beauty standards and what features are deemed beautiful or not. Megyn Kelly recently did a news story with the Daily Wire's Michael Knowles calling plastic surgery a social illness. Kelly used Moriarty, who has received buccal fat removal, a chin and jaw shave surgery, a nose job, microblading, and lip injections as her example, saying more and more young women are doing this, referring to unnecessary plastic surgery on an already beautiful face. Kelly said, "It's not about an objection to plastic surgery, it's about an obsession with turning yourself into a fake version of yourself. I find it like a sign of mental illness. I really want to get into the heads of these young girls and say, please don't do this." Another fan base that was quick to point out the differences in their fave celeb was Noah Cyrus's. Noah Cyrus, who actually looked quite similar to her sister Miley and her mother Tish in her younger years, first went through a shocking visual change circa 2020. She debuted lip filler and cheek filler and microbladed eyebrows, as was the trend at the time in beauty, and it's something she's maintained as a visual sin. But in 2023, it looks like she went a step further when she got a nose job, as was pointed out by her fans after she attended the January 2023 Paris Fashion Week looking shockingly different. And now, in 2024, she has sparked rumors for buccal fat removal, as she's recently debuted uber gaunt cheeks, the current trend thanks to Ozempic as well. Someone who's also faced some commentary for looking different from their debut days is Kwan Nara. The former Hello Venus K-pop idol turned actress's plastic surgery controversy was sparked when photos from her junior high days were leaked online. There are some noticeable differences, primarily in the brow bone and nose area, which sparked discussions and some rumors about her having had plastic surgery. As the rumors escalated, she eventually addressed the speculation through a TV episode of Taxi. After the host admitted to having had plastic surgery himself on his nose and eyes, Nara explained, "I was shocked by my appearance at the beginning of my debut and have been consistently working on staying in shape ever since." She also insisted she never received plastic surgery, but that she's just been getting Botox for a long time. Despite her claim, plenty of her adoring fans did send messages of positivity and love, claiming even if she did have plastic surgery, as many still suspect she did, they weren't going to judge her for it. Reed Ewing, however, judged himself pretty harshly and shared how that affected his plastic surgery journey in the Huffington Post. The Modern Family actor expressed in an essay he had written about his heartbreaking battle with body dysmorphia. Ewing revealed that after moving to LA for bigger and better gigs, he became obsessed over what he perceived to be imperfections in his appearance as a man. That he wasn't handsome enough, chiseled enough, that these things would affect his career and his castability. His first plastic surgery as a result is at 19 when he gets cheek implants, which he described as incredibly painful both physically and emotionally. He had to wear a mask for weeks after the procedure, which led to him temporarily avoiding his home to avoid people knowing he had had it. Ewing claimed that the implants had actually made his face appear more gaunt because they defined his cheekbones rather than the actual cheek, and his second doctor then suggests a chin implant as a correction, instead of just removing the problem implants. Ewing got additional procedures, which led to more procedures, all in an effort to correct the prior ones. He had essentially become addicted to plastic surgery and explained that never once did a doctor recommend removing the things and just getting therapy. They always recommended doing more and more, feeding into the addiction and lining their own pockets. Reed has since sworn off plastic surgery in 2023, claiming it made him feel even more insecure and isolated than he did before he got any work done at all. Nikita Dragun needed plastic plastic surgery to help her blossom into the woman that she is. But she too, like Reed, became addicted and fell into a pattern of unnecessary surgeries that chased down imagined imperfections. Nikita, who was born the male sex, transitioned to the female sex over the past decade and shared that journey online, earning millions of followers in the process with her bold and brash personality. But in 2018, Nikita decided to get real about another side of herself she wasn't documenting. To quote, "I recently broke this addiction," she expressed, "and I know that's a lot to take in, but let me explain." Nikita shared that the hardest part of her transition was her hormone therapy. The changes in her body resulted in her being critical of her appearance, suffering from body dysphoria, and ultimately leading her to undergo more and more cosmetic procedures. Getting her brow bone and jaw shaved, she got 4 nose jobs, she got Botox, she got breast implants, which required more surgery to fix the complications with the breast tissue following. To quote, "I felt this immense pressure to need to pass, to need to be a woman, to need to feel this level of confidence. So I was really in this dark place where I had to look in the mirror and stop myself from wanting to change everything because it got to the point where I didn't even know why I was doing the surgeries anymore," she explained. Thankfully, the starlet has recovered from her addiction and continues to be an advocate for transgender youth and those with plastic surgery addictions. Crystal Hefner also came clean about her plastic surgery addiction and how it was shaped too by the unrealistic pressures put on women to fit certain parameters of beauty, or otherwise they'd be deemed unwomanly. As a Playboy model and one of Hugh Hefner's wives, Crystal Hefner felt that she was expected to look a certain way, explaining years later, "I don't know whether I felt empowered by dressing scantily clad, showing cleavage, etc., or if I just felt it was expected of me or what," she shared on Instagram. Whatever the reasons were, Hefner had a variety of surgeries performed on her, which eventually took a toll on her health. Her breast implants caused memory loss, spatial disorientation, migraines, and fatigue, and a fat transfer surgery almost cost her her life. After all her negative experiences with cosmetic alterations and exhausted of maintaining the Hefner image after the dirtbag's death, Crystal opted for a more natural look, both in real life and on social media. To quote her, "I removed everything fake from my body and I deleted all my old photos. I am more authentic, vulnerable, and I feel I belong more to myself." She further explained she had concerns about who would stick around with her account moving in that new direction. "As I saw followers drop by the thousands every day, I was in the red. I was watching girls that had similar pages keep posting the same scantily clad stuff and growing exponentially while I tanked hard." But in the end, while she initially lost followers, her numbers eventually rebounded into a fan base that respected her authenticity. This next influencer once gave an Instagram shout out to a plastic surgeon. It's Sophia Richie. The plastic surgeon she shouted out in question was celebrity Jason Diamond, to whom she accredited, "Thank you for always taking care of me." Though Sophia, 29 at the time, didn't specify what work she'd had done, Dr. Rodriguez, who's a board-certified internal medicine physician, suggests based off her age and her facial changes during aging, to quote, "Sophia has likely received a rhinoplasty, lip fillers, and under-eye filler, and maybe chin filler. As for her wrinkle-free skin, probably Botox injections or laser treatments." Speaking of barely there adjustments made through plastic surgery, Hailey Bieber has had some sneaky subtle style of work done on her as well. Most of the young celebs nowadays, it's very subtle. Or do you not remember the iconic Kanye 2022 moment where for no reason during social media rant he aired out the fact Hailey had a rhinoplasty, calling her nose job Hailey Bald Loose? The model, 27, vehemently denied it at the time, but the rumor's been following her forever, and understandably so when past and present pictures are lined up. According to Dr. Ramtin Kassir, founder of Kassir Plastic Surgery, he thinks she got work done specifically around her eyes. To quote, "She likely had a blepharoplasty, aka a brow lift, or some expertly injected Botox around the brows." Another starlet who had blink and you miss it minor plastic surgery was Dove Cameron. There's no denying this one. The Descendants star, 28, has been acting since 8, so it's not surprising her look would evolve, but her acid changes suggest more than just growing up. Dove really looks like how she did when she was younger, just if you also happen to grab the skin around her temple and upper cheekbone area and yank it back towards her hairline. Dove has gotten a rhinoplasty as well as upper blepharoplasty, as her eyelids are no longer as hooded, claims Dr. Carlos Rodriguez, director of Skinny Med Spa. He also threw in the speculation her lips may have filler, but he can't determine that as a factor of age or not, unlike very obvious brow lift. And last up is a celebrity whose subtle surgery combos became not so subtle when paired together. It's actually Miley Cyrus. Pair up her buccal fat removal, the big veneers with lip filler, eyebrow lift, and her newest diet of Ozempic, and you got a Miley Cyrus that looks like a permanently surprised Tim Burton character. This exact cocktail is what almost all our adored female celebrities have had done in the recent years. It's a surefire winner, and it highlights all the features most popular in bone structure and faces right now. But that's the thing, just because a feature's popular doesn't mean you can make it suit your face. Take Cyrus's notoriously soft cheeks and round face. It's completely genetic. You see them on both her parents and her siblings, but Miley decided to suck the buccal fat out and expose her cheekbones, which her face isn't really meant to do. It's caused the singer to look extremely gaunt. It clashes with her newest set of veneers, which they themselves are a whole other problem because they're too big for her mouth. You haven't noticed she's always had it open recently? I think she's playing it off well as an aesthetics thing, but it genuinely seems like it's just uncomfortable for Miley Cyrus to have her mouth closed around those giant veneers. You can even see the difference between them and her authentic teeth photographed in years prior. Meanwhile, up top, Miley did an eyebrow lift, which is to help her cheekbone not look so much gaunt as delicate, but it didn't really take. Instead, Miley is given a distinctly surprised and skeletal looking face, and since her cheeks were drained and her eyebrows yanked back, her eyes are looking larger than life in the middle. Well, the singer's newest 70s style aesthetic, 70s country blend aesthetic is helping carry these newly augmented features, as is her stylist. You know, the big coiffed hair distracts from the yanked back eyebrows, slinky 70s dresses distract from an alarmingly thin Ozempic frame, etc, etc. There's no denying Miley's had some very in-your-face work done on, well, her face. But if you want to, you can always argue below in the comments or share this video with some friends and family to get their takes. Until next time, be sure to drop a like on our video and our page, and I'll see you around.
On Running Wild with Bear Grylls in 2016, Friends star Courtney Cox revealed she regrets getting some filler. During her appearance on their survival skills reality TV show, Courtney Cox said, "Getting older is not the easiest, but I have learned lessons. I think I was trying to keep up with being older. I have done things I regret, and luckily they're things that dissolve and go away, so that's good, but that's not always my best look." She did let those things dissolve shortly after. Quite a bit later, in a 2022 interview with the Sunday Times, Courtney revealed that she thought she looked really strange after getting her procedures, and that what she had done to her face she would never do now. Kenny Rogers is an absolutely iconic man, known for hits like She Believes in Me and Don't Fall in Love with a Dreamer. The late singer has fans all over the world. Most fans were shocked when Rogers revealed a pretty major transformation in the early 2000s. His 2013 memoir, Luck or Something Like It, Rogers gives an explanation as to why he got the facial procedures done, saying that he did it because he was trying to keep up with the younger stars coming in and wanted a bit of a revamp. A 2012 visit to CBS This Morning echoed this sentiment. He also shared in this 2012 interview that he regrets it. He said, "I had the money to do it and I had time off, and I regret that. But the truth is, I don't know what I would have looked like if I hadn't done it." The part that he has gone on record saying that he regrets the most was his eye job. This happened in a 2006 interview with People. He said that the eye job was too tight around the eyelids for him and that it drives him crazy. But he had found the humor in the situation thanks to friend Dolly Parton, the country queen herself and Rogers' duet partner on the hit track Islands in the Stream. Apparently, Dolly used to tease him about the various surgeries. In an interview with Anderson Cooper, Kenny Rogers confirms all of this, saying, "Dolly and I used to laugh about it. I think he looks just fine after, but I can understand why he might have been upset with the after pictures." Khloe Kardashian has famously admitted that she was not happy with some of her procedures, specifically the fillers she had done in her face in 2015. According to the Daily Mail, Khloe allegedly said, "It did not work for me, I looked crazy, and I still think the effects are in there. I went to have it all dissolved like 3 times. The fillers were done shortly before then-husband Lamar Odom's accident. Khloe revealed that when she had spoken to her doctor about the mess-up fillers, he said, "I think it's just too much was happening to your real emotions, so she tried to get the fillers dissolved." Khloe was overall not thrilled about the situation, saying, "It was a bummer, and now I'm afraid to do it again, and I'm almost like I swear things are still in my face." The entire thing was a pretty major reveal to Kardashian-Jenner fans, as Khloe has adamantly denied having any filler in the past. Just recently, Khloe has confirmed that she has had a nose job and has one regret about about it that she didn't do it sooner. That was shared via her Twitter accounts. Cameron Diaz disliked the way Botox made her look. She revealed this fact in a 2014 interview with Entertainment Tonight. The star of Charlie's Angels and Shrek shared that she has tried Botox before, where it was like a tiny little touch of something. It changed her face in such a weird way. She'd rather see her face aging than a face that doesn't belong to her at all. She went on to say that she doesn't want to smooth out the smile lines because that means she's smiled her whole life. While Botox might not be the choice for Cameron Diaz, she has no judgment towards people who do choose to get Botox. Ariana Grande is in a similar boat. In her Vogue Beauty Secret tutorial that was posted to Vogue's YouTube on September 12, 2023, Ariana shared that she has had a ton of lip fillers over the years and Botox, but now she's over and done with it. Ariana has disclosed that she wants to now see herself age naturally. Like Cameron Diaz, Ariana Grande wants to see her well-earned cry lines and smile lines. She continued to share that she stopped all those procedures back in 2018 because, in her words, she felt like hiding because it felt too much. While she did seem to be done for now, she isn't ruling anything out for the future. She's leaving the door open for the possibility of a facelift, but not for a long time, like at least 10 years. But even then, it's only a maybe, so we'll check back in a decade. Star of The Hills, actress Heidi Montag has made many headlines, but specifically in the field of cosmetic surgery. She is known for undergoing 10 surgeries in one day in 2010. 10 in one day at age 23. For the face specifically, she had a brow lift, Botox, and a chin reduction, plus more. In a 2012 interview with Access Hollywood Live, Heidi revealed she was definitely way in over her head, and she only wanted a few enhancements and then it kind of got out of hand. Further going on to say, I wasn't really told the repercussions and what would happen, emotionally and physically, and the pain I would be in. It was kind of a shock. As of that 2012 interview, Heidi hadn't received any additional work, wanting to focus on being healthy, alive, and strong in her words. Right after these surgeries, she was open to more, but that has changed, especially more recently. In a 2019 interview with Cosmopolitan, Heidi shared her 32-year-old perspective on things, saying, I was way too young to make such life-changing decisions, and I was under so much pressure because it was the beginning of comment sections and negativity and hate on the internet. Being in the Hollywood spotlight is never easy, and I'm glad she has found peace with the situation. Jennifer Grey has regretted her nose job that she received in 1989, not necessarily because it didn't look good. I think she looks great either way. It's just when she changed her nose, it changed her whole face, and she was suddenly unrecognizable. This decision went on to hurt her career. She had just done the iconic film Dirty Dancing, yet she wasn't getting hired much after in Hollywood, probably because she looked so different. At least, that is what Jennifer Grey thinks. She said, I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. Going further, saying, I'll always be this once famous actress nobody recognizes because of a nose job. Though it was hard for her to get roles, she wasn't completely out of the game. She had some guest appearances on Friends and House, as well as a few TV movies. She did famously win the 2010 season of Dancing with the Stars. Makes sense. Kylie Jenner has one of the most famous pouts in the world, making a considerable amount of money off the lip kits she created, so you can have one too. However, she hasn't always loved her lips. It's no secret that Kylie has had lip injections, but in a 2016 interview with Allure, and also her sister, Kim Kardashian, Kylie admitted that she definitely made her lips a little too big at one point. Kim agreeing with her. Kylie did explain herself, saying, I got excited and I felt I needed to do a lot, and then you guys were like, Kylie, you need to chill, and then I had to go back and have it fixed, and it was a crazy process. Thank God I didn't end up on Botched. She regrets going overboard with the filler, but not getting it in the first place. Kylie's lips have definitely become a main part of her brand now, and I think they look great, and she seems way happier with them now. Just recently, on March 8th, Kylie sat down with the New York Times and shared some insight how she feels now, saying, it's just years and years of not feeling like my face or looks are accepted. There's nothing anyone could ever say now that would hurt me. Melanie Griffith is known for Working Girl, Lolita, and giving birth to Madam Web herself, Dakota Johnson. Love Dakota, but this ain't about her. Melanie Griffith sat down with Vanity Fair in 2017 to discuss life, love, and her past plastic surgeries. She said she hadn't noticed something was up with the procedures and the amount she was receiving until outside parties started pointing things out. Griffith shared she was hurt by constant comments like, oh my god, what has she done? And decided to take matters into her own hands. She started visiting a different doctor to get everything everything fixed up. She went on to say, I went to a different doctor and he started dissolving all of this stuff that this other doctor had put in. Hopefully, I look more normal now. I think she looks great and is rocking it on the red carpet. She has appeared alongside her daughter Dakota on a few and has been in a few films more recently, like The Disaster Artist. She was also in Stuart Little 2 as a little bird. That's not on topic or important at all, but it is important to me. Sharon Osbourne seriously regretted a 5-hour facelift she had back in 2021. In her own words, she thought she looked like a cyclops because one eye was different to the other. She was able to joke about the situation, saying, "All I need is a hunchback." The TV personality told the Sunday Times that the procedure was a full facelift and that she looked like one of those mummies that they wrap with bandages. It's a few years later though, and Sharon Osbourne, in my opinion, doesn't look like these descriptions at all. She looks great right now. Well, she was, and I cannot stress this enough, not very happy with the results, and neither was her husband, Ozzy Osbourne. He told her, "I don't care how much it costs, we'll get it redone." And she did. Sharon did have to wait until her face was fully healed before she could head back in the room, but eventually she was able to go back in and have everything corrected. Sharon is no stranger to cosmetic procedures and has openly spoken about the ones she's received in the past. While speaking to The Times, she revealed that she has had a tummy tuck, lifts to multiple body parts, breast implants, and Botox, as well as 3 facelifts. But it looks like Sharon Osbourne might be done with it all. In an interview with The Sun in April of 2023, she reveals that the previously mentioned disaster facelift has put me off and it frightens me. I really pushed it with the last facelift and I am now like, no more.
First off, we have Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan, who's known for her sweet, innocent look, unveiled a dramatically different look in recent years. Ryan appeared in various rom-coms and series in the 80s and 90s that matched her bubbly personality. It was a time that demonstrated her external and internal beauty. However, female heroine roles eluded the actress in recent years. She decided to go for the classic Real Housewives of Beverly Hills look and change the natural grace that she had during her prime. Her new appearance sparked debates among fans and the general audience about whether she got work done. The most obvious thing Meg Ryan got done is cheek filler or fat transfer to her cheeks, doctors say. When she smiles, the filler seems to move up, making her eyes look smaller, one doctor said. Surgeons believe Meg may have had too much Botox on her forehead, which dropped to the brows during time. As a result, her eyes looking smaller. Although she still looks absolutely beautiful, it is safe to say everybody misses her cute innocence from the 80s and 90s. Next up, we have Mickey Rourke. This American actor first appeared in Body Heat in 1981 before showing his acting prowess in his preceding films. It's nothing new to compare Rourke's work with the likes of James Dean, even Robert De Niro. His re-emergence in the 2000s with prominent roles Sin City 2005 and The Wrestler in 2008 solidified his status in Hollywood. Plus, he was once known as one of the film industry's most handsome stars. Unfortunately, plastic surgery made his career dwindle. With his bad boy persona in 80s cinema, a botched plastic surgery changed the public's perception of him. The general audience argues that he had cheek and maybe chin implants. He lost his original tough guy packaging after the surgeries. In 2009, Rourke admitted that his looks did change because of botched plastic surgery. He said most of it was done to mend his boxing injuries. However, he went to the wrong guy to put his face back together, resulting in an extremely changed look. Next up, we have Madonna. At the 2023 Grammys, Madonna revealed her new look, and fans were, let's just say, confused. Some calling her a quote alien trying to blend in as a human, and others blatantly calling her quote hideous. 2 days after the Grammys, Madonna slammed people who chose to focus on her looks instead of the speech she gave before the historic performance she introduced. Sam Smith and Kim Petras were the stars that she was introducing that night. Instead of focusing on what I said in my speech, which was about giving thanks for the fearlessness of artists like Sam and Kim, many people chose to only talk about close-up photos of me taken with a long lens camera by a press photographer that would distort anybody's face, she captioned an Instagram video on February 7th. The pop icon went on to say that she is once again caught in the glare of ageism and misogyny that permeates the world we live in. Madonna says this world does not, quote, celebrate women past the age of 45 and will punish her if she continues to be strong-willed, hardworking, and adventurous. I have never apologized for any of the creative choices I've made, nor the way that I look or dress, and I'm not going to start today, the 7-time Grammy winner continued. I have been degraded by the media since the beginning of my career, but I understand that this is all a test, and I'm happy to do the trailblazing so that all the women behind me can have an easier time in the years to come. In the words of Beyonce, you won't break my soul. Next up, we have Miss Ariana Grande. Now, this one is not as noticeable as the other celebs we talked about, but fans are still wondering what happened to her face. YouTube videos went viral in 2023 and 2022 titled, quote, "What happened to Ariana's face?" and "Ariana's eyes are weird." Here's what we know about Ariana Grande's alleged plastic surgery. 1. A nose job. Ariana Grande allegedly had a rhinoplasty procedure to reduce her nose size and shape it more naturally. This is one of the most common types of rhinoplasty procedures performed on celebrities because it gives them an instantly slimmer face, which makes them appear younger than their actual age. Number 2. Surgeons think she's had a brow lift. According to sources close to Ariana Grande, it is true that she has undergone a brow lift surgery. That is in order to eliminate the sagging skin under her eyes and make her look more youthful. It can do that by helping you look less tired or stressed out, while also removing that angry look from your face. Number 3, surgeons think that she has had a facelift in recent years. Another common procedure that many stars go through is facial rejuvenation with fillers such as Botox injections. It helps prevent wrinkles from forming around their eyes or mouth area over time due to their age. Ariana even got emotional in a video posted on Vogue's YouTube channel recently, where she actually admits she no longer continues the Botox treatment and she felt like she was, quote, hiding herself under all those cosmetic procedures. Next up, we have the late Joan Rivers. In 2010, at 23 years old, Rivers revealed that she underwent 10 cosmetic procedures in one day, including a chin reduction, brow lift, and Botox injections. This beloved American comedian, host, and actress paved her way into stardom with her natural beauty. However, it comes as no surprise when plastic surgery enters the equation of a celebrity's life. She has had multiple procedures like facelifts, neck lifts, to name a few. In an interview with her husband Spencer Pratt, she said that she was too young to make life-changing decisions. She said she was under so much pressure from what she saw on the internet and made her do these surgeries. But Joan Rivers said that everybody should take plastic surgery seriously. For her, the recovery was devastating. Her heart even stopped for a bit, which made her more transparent about all the work that she has gotten done. Next up, we have Jocelyn Wildenstein, a Swiss socialite formerly married to billionaire Alec Wildenstein. When in 1999 Alec filed for divorce, she reportedly spent $4 million on various surgeries. She denies having excessive plastic surgery, citing it's just her Swiss heritage, but admitted to one surgery to make her eyes more cat-like. According to her ex, Alec Wildenstein, she was thinking that she could fix her face like a piece of furniture. Skin does not work that way, he says. Wildenstein claims that she has not had any income at all for the last 8 years after her ex-husband's former family cut her off from her $100 million annual divorce settlement payments. The Swiss-born socialite decided to make a 2-part docuseries and potential TV show produced by the team behind the hit Keeping Up with the Kardashians because all her money's gone. I have a huge problem with my settlement, she told The Telegraph at the luxurious Mayborn Hotel in LA. Since 8 years, they have completely cut me off, she says. Wildenstein, now 82, rose to fame in the 1990s during her high-profile divorce from her art-dealing husband, Alec Wildenstein, from which she received a whopping $2.5 billion in the settlement and $100 million each year afterwards. Next up, we have Miss Donatella Versace. Her designs for Versace may spark 1,000 copycats, but there's no danger of women following suit when it comes to her new face. 20 years ago, the fashion guru had naturally full lips and very smooth skin, but as she stepped out 10 years ago in 2014 for the first time since major surgeries, her face was striking for all the wrong reasons. Users on Reddit have shared their opinions And some of these comments are not the nicest, let's just say. Why is her face slick like Vaseline? She looks like a Muppet. And why does she look extraterrestrial? Are some of the top comments on the thread. Next up, we have Zac Efron. Considering that Zac Efron has literally grown up on screen, his fans are pretty familiar with his famous good looks. From his wholesome start as a teen star in High School Musical, through his recent dramatic turn in The Iron Claw, audiences have seen him through a variety of stages. When the heartthrob started looking noticeably different in recent years, they were understandably curious. Thankfully, there's no speculation necessary. Efron himself has been fairly candid about what has led to the transformation in his appearance. Zac Efron's famous face does look a bit different nowadays. The former Disney star revealed that he did have to undergo some medical procedures, but not for the cosmetic reasons some people might assume. In a 2022 interview with Men's Health, the actor revealed that his enlarged jawline was actually due to an old injury. While running in socks in his home in 2013, Efron slipped and smashed his chin against the granite corner of a fountain. The injury was so severe he lost consciousness, and when he woke up, his chin bone was hanging off his face. As for how the 2013 injury impacted his appearance so many years later, he explained to Men's Health that it related to his masseter muscles overcompensating for the injured muscles in his face, combined with his temporary failure to continue physical therapy. Our next celebrity is Miss Dolly Parton. Dolly is a country music legend known for hits like I Will Always Love You and 9 to 5, but she's equally known for her plastic assets as well. One of the first times she admitted to getting work done was in 1977 in an interview with Barbara Walters. But honestly, Dolly, we love you and you look great. Our final celebrity today is Kylie Jenner. Since her initial debut on reality television, Kylie Jenner has undergone a significant, very dramatic shift from her lips to even her skin tone. Her latest new image, however, showcases a larger butt and a smaller waist. Most likely, a Brazilian butt lift or buttock implants were used to achieve the new look. To create a lower waist and a bumpier back, the Brazilian butt lift combines severe body sculpting with liposuction. For reference, a BBL employs liposuction to remove fat from other parts of the body, in other words, moving things around. Often the fat on the stomach or thighs is sucked out and injected into the buttocks. In a recent episode of the family show The Kardashians, Kylie said she would reverse the decision to get plastic surgery if she could. "I wish I never got it done to begin with," she told her BFF. "I recommend anyone thinking about it to wait after having children." She went on to say that her daughter Stormy, 5 years old, helped her keep things in perspective. "Obviously I have a daughter too. I'd be heartbroken if she wanted to get her body done at 19, like Kylie did. She's the most beautiful thing ever."
Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis, the Scream Queen, once spilled the beans about her plastic surgeries she did in this interview where she was frankly super honest about it. Turns out she went through a whole bunch of procedures like liposuction and Botox, but she said straight up that none of it really worked out the way she'd hoped. Even though her face didn't change drastically, you can definitely tell she's had some work done if you look closely. But despite all of that, apparently she's totally cool with aging naturally. At her age, she's still rocking it and keeping her status as the Scream Queen intact. Quite refreshing to see a celeb being real about this stuff. Jamie Lee Curtis teaches us that even with all the money and access to all these fancy procedures, things don't always turn out as planned. But at least she's still confident and embracing herself, and at the end of the day, I suppose that's what really matters. Coming up next is Blac Chyna, also known as Angela White, made some pretty big moves. She decided to undo a bunch of the plastic surgery stuff she had done before. See, she wasn't really feeling the way she looked anymore, so she got rid of all those fillers and stuff she had put in her face. Originally, she changed a lot about her face, her cheeks, her chin, her nose, her lips, I mean, you name it. But as time went on, she started feeling like she was looking a bit plastic, I guess. Then she came clean about it, saying that she felt a bit out there and not like herself anymore. She even told her fans that going under the blade for cosmetic reasons definitely wasn't worth it. She started going back to being called Angela, her birth name, and trying to get back to her original self. She admitted that the look wasn't great and it really didn't represent who she was. Undoing all that surgery took time, but now she's on the path to getting back to her natural looking self. If you're enjoying the video so far, you could support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to be on the screen, and ringing that notification bell. Coming up next is Michael Jackson, who is definitely the most well-known name on this list. And seeing that he made a very drastic change, he spent 30 years trying to look exactly like who he wanted to be. He had over 100 facial procedures done, mostly because one of his previous doctors had totally botched his face. He had multiple nose jobs, his skin bleached, lip fixtures, and cheek enhancements. There were a few different reasons why he made the changes, one being that he wanted to resemble Diana Ross, and another reason being that he wanted to remove any sort of resemblance to his father, whom he had a deep-seated hatred for. When he started out in music, he had acne scars and felt like his nose was too big, so a few years later, he got the scarring removed and had his nose fixed up so he felt a little bit better about himself. Over the years, he got his nose done numerous amount of times, totally got rid of his natural afro, made his cheekbones higher, his lips thinner, bleached his skin, and his eyelids raised. Overall, at the end of the day, I don't think it was really worth it, as he never really reached his ideal look. Next up, you won't believe it, but Courtney Cox spilled the beans about her experience with facial fillers. Yeah, she totally went for them, hoping to keep that youthful look going strong, but it did not turn out as planned. She was really hoping to dodge that aging bullet like most of us would, I guess. But instead of getting the results she wanted, it ended up being a complete and total regret for her. So what did she do? Well, she made the bold move to dissolve all those fillers. She just wanted to feel more like her old self and go for the natural look again. Plus, she mentioned something pretty interesting. She didn't like that the fillers messed with her facial movements. Imagine not being able to move your face properly because of all that stuff you got crammed in there. Yeah. No thanks. Next up, Kim Kardashian's journey with plastic surgery was quite the roller coaster. She's been on a transformation spree, starting with her famous back end implants that were practically a shelf for a champagne bottle. Cheeks, yeah, she filled those up with some enhancers. She tinkered with her nose a whole bunch of times. And plus she went for a whole bunch of other body tweaks. But the kicker is that she's big on a skin enhancer thing that's all about filling and smoothing, making sure she's always picture perfect without a single blemish. Throw in those regular spray tans for that eternal sun-kissed look. And her contouring game used to be her thing, but enhancing those facial features like an artist, but more recently, she did a switcheroo by letting go of her Brazilian lift that she had going on, but apparently there was no surgery to undo that. She just went for the slow and steady weight loss route, letting things naturally settle back to normal. Next up is Kenny Rogers. So Kenny Rogers was aging so gracefully, he almost had this Santa Claus look going on, but you know, with the sweet features and that white beard. But then he messed all that up, deciding to tweak his cheekbones, went overboard on his eyelids, got a nose job, and ended up with this super fake tan. The result being, well, just say he didn't quite look like the Kenny Rogers we all knew and loved. I mean, some say he even resembled a, Walmart version of himself, like a bad taxidermy job gone wrong. It's kind of sad, but also a little bit funny. May he rest in peace, though. Despite all that, he left behind a legacy through his music that will always be remembered. Next up, Burt Reynolds. Yeah, remember him? He wasn't your typical Hollywood heartthrob, especially when he was younger. But hey, he aged pretty darn well, all things considered. However, as he got older, he decided to go through the surgery route to maintain his middle-aged charm. Problem was, it did not pan out. Instead of enhancing his look, it totally backfired. He ended up looking more like a fragile grandpa than ever before. He used to credit his smooth skin to his pops, but as time went on, he got fewer wrinkles when he was middle-aged. He went all in with surgeries, getting a nose job, eye lifts, oodles of all kinds of Botox, and even a full facelift. Some say his face seems like it's being held together by those surgeries because it looks so tight and stretched. Now it seems like Burt might have missed the memo about embracing the natural look, but aging gracefully isn't everyone's cup of tea, I suppose. Next up is Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers, you know, she never truly was content with how she looked. Her daughter spilled the beans in a memoir mentioning that Joan went through 348 surgeries and a whopping 700 plus facial tweaks. Could you imagine? All that to chase a dream look that just kept slipping away. She'd crack jokes about celebs in her stand-ups, but she'd also throw shade at herself, which is a bit sad in hindsight. In 2014, during a routine throat procedure, things took a bad turn. It wasn't because she wanted more surgery, no, medical injuries snagged her life when her brain didn't get enough oxygen during that procedure. Which is super wild considering the fortune she poured into her looks. But hey, teaches us something important, that no amount of surgery can fix how you feel on the inside. Next up is Donatella Versace. Back in the day, she had these naturally full lips and a smooth skin that were envied by many. Now fast forward, and her recent appearance makes heads turn, not in a good way. Doctors took a closer look at her recent pics and spotted some telltale signs. That extra shiny skin's probably too much Botox and laser treatments trying to make things smoother. And that's not all. They suspect some bone loss in her lower jaw, hinting at possible jaw implants. Versace is a classic cautionary tale about the risks of going too far with plastic surgery. Sometimes aiming for a better look can end up making things worse. So while celebs may have all the resources for surgeries, we can't always reverse these changes. And coming up last on our list is Betty White, the amazing lady we all adore. She did something quite unexpected, getting her eyelids lifted. Now, she was all about embracing natural beauty, saying that we're all born unique and beautiful in our own way. But then she went for this eyelid lift. Now, at first, she wasn't too sure about it, scolding herself for years about it afterwards. But as she grew older, she kind of made peace with it. She realized it didn't totally mess up her lovable face or her charm. Betty always said that everybody's got their own special kind of beauty, but sometimes even the best need a little boost, I guess. And hey, it didn't change the fact that she was still the same witty, wonderful person we all knew and loved. So yeah, even someone as awesome as Betty White can try something new and still get away with it.
First up, we have Joan Van Ark. Once a leading face of primetime soaps, Joan Van Ark underwent several adjustments, including rhinoplasty and cheek augmentation that resulted in disastrous results. The Dallas and Knots Landing star, now 76, has gone through several surgeries and procedures that removed all gracefulness of her aging. Van Ark has received everything from Botox, lip fillers, lip augmentation, eyelid reconstruction. Users on Reddit were shocked by her new appearance. One user saying, quote, "White people and various members of the Jackson family have got to stop this madness. And the plastic surgery is horrible, and the makeup is not helping her at all," another user says. "Why does it look so metallic? Poor woman." Next up, we have Bobby Norris. Bobby Norris is an English television actor known for his appearances on The Only Way is Essex. Despite rumors of a facelift and chin reduction, the 35-year-old Norris has actually had minimal work done. But the procedure that he has done is just so bizarre that it took the world by surprise. The reality star underwent a beard transplant, which has made his cheeks noticeably overfilled and puffy. This cosmetic change rendered him unrecognizable and made a negative impact on his career. Recently, Bobby made news when he was in a serious motorcycle accident last November. He is thought to have suffered nasty head injuries after the accident when he landed on his head and was treated by emergency services who rushed to the scene. A source told The Sun, quote, "Bobby was crossing the road when a motorbike came out of nowhere. He was sent flying up in the air and landed on his head after being driven straight into at speed. It was a shocking sight for those who were close by when it happened. Police arrived at the scene, as did a paramedic on a bike, who then called for an ambulance. He was quickly taken to UCLH hospital for tests." Our next celebrity is Courtney Cox. American actress, producer, and director Courtney Cox is notoriously recognized by the excessive and unfortunately disastrous procedures that she has done to her face. Well known for her role in the hit TV show Friends, the now 57-year-old actress has undergone a facelift and several filler injections around the cheeks, lips, and eyes. Courtney has since expressed her regret for the treatments. She had all her filler dissolved in 2017 since she felt she did not look like herself, and has admitted that she has, quote, "messed up when it came to using fillers." The Friends star opened up in the Los Angeles podcast saying it was, quote, "a domino effect that she hadn't realized she looked a little off. You look in the mirror and go, oh, that looks good," she said. says, "You don't realize what it looks like to be the outside person." Next up, we have Jennifer Grey. Grey went under the knife and had a nose job after shooting to fame in Dirty Dancing, but she later admitted that it changed her look a bit too much when it came to her acting career. The Mirror quoted her as saying in 2012, "I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. It was the nose job from hell. I'll always be this once famous actress nobody recognizes because of a nose job." The two surgeries, which Grey refers to as Schnozageddon, took place after Grey starred as Baby Houseman opposite Patrick Swayze in the 1987 smash hit Dirty Dancing. "After Dirty Dancing, I was America's sweetheart," she says, which you would think would be the key to unlocking all my hopes and dreams. But it didn't go down that way, she says in her new memoir. Grey recalls that after Dirty Dancing, there was still not a surplus of parts for actresses who looked like me. She was apparently told that her nose was a quote problem, with one plastic surgeon wondering after watching Dirty Dancing why she hadn't had a nose job before. "My so-called problem wasn't really a problem for me," she says, "but since it seemed to be a problem for other people and it didn't appear to be going away anytime soon, by default it became my problem." She writes, "It was as plain as the nose on my face." After consulting her mother and 3 plastic surgeons, Grey underwent 2 rhinoplasty surgeries to quote fine-tune her nose. A second surgery was meant to correct an irregularity caused by the first surgery, but left her nose truncated and dwarfed, rendering Grey practically unrecognizable to people that she had known for years. Next up, we have Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley, American businesswoman and former wife, of course, of Elvis, has received various procedures since being married to the late king of rock and roll. At 75, she had admitted to getting botched silicone cheek injections by a phony doctor. She also received repeated laser and Botox treatments, resulting in the waxy appearance of her new face. Priscilla has been in the headlines recently as her story is now being told on screen in the new film Priscilla, starring Jacob Elordi as Elvis. The film shows us the cracks in Elvis's Prince Charming veneer, the way he lavishes Priscilla with attention and then suddenly withholds it. Life at Graceland was lonely for her in those first years. Priscilla admitted to Closer Weekly in 2017. Elvis's controlling manager, Colonel Tom Parker, didn't want it known that his valuable client Elvis had a steady girlfriend, for fear that fans would give up their own hopes of being with Elvis and would stop buying records. And there weren't even any pictures of the pair allowed around the house. Parker was quote kind to her, Priscilla added, but he just didn't want fans to know that I was in the picture. And yet sometimes Elvis picked her up from school in a limo and flew her out to LA when he was making movies. It was a lifestyle so dangerous, Priscilla told People in 1978, that I'm just thankful I've come out sane. Next up, we have Heidi Montag. Back in 2010, the reality star traveled from California to her parents' home in Colorado to undergo an extensive list of cosmetic procedures. Heidi has had some really drastic surgery done and famously underwent 10 procedures in one single day. It sounds crazy when you think about how difficult that would be to recover from, considering it was all done at the same exact time. Heidi had her surgery day in late 2009, which included breast implants, making her an F cup, a brow lift, a nose job, lipo on her stomach and thighs, and a butt augmentation. The drastic photos of her new appearance hit the headlines in March of 2010, and the world was more than a little shocked. But 3 years later, Heidi admitted to Us magazine she actually had really big regrets and health problems as a result. Quote, I just didn't realize what I was really signing up for. It just sounds so minor when you have a surgeon describing so much of it to you. She also said that at the time she wasn't fully aware of the recovery time and the mental strain that would put on her, and she claims her surgeon left this out on purpose. She went on to have some of the work reversed, but mostly maintained her current look. Our next celebrity is Tara Reid. The American Pie star was one of Hollywood's it girls in the late 1990s and early 2000s. But while she was at the pinnacle of success in her career, she was also going through various issues stemming from botched plastic surgery, and she ended up missing out on a whole bunch of roles because of it. Tara claimed that in 2004, breast implants implants and liposuction surgeries left her with disfigurements that damaged her career. She told Us Weekly, quote, "My stomach became the most ripply, bulgy thing. I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." Tara said that after the procedure, she knew something was wrong when it came to her breast implants, but she was 6 months post-op when she realized that it had been terribly botched. Quote, "The actual center part where the areola is, instead of being a circle, it turned out to be a large square. It was horrifying." She also went through an infamous wardrobe malfunction at Diddy's 35th birthday party in 2004, which resulted in her body going viral, which left her devastated. Tara said she cried and begged photographers not to release the photos because the last thing she wanted to happen was to have the whole world see it. Next we have Khloe Kardashian. The Keeping Up with the Kardashian star is known for being the funniest and most laid back of all her sisters, but over the years, fans have seen a drastic change in her appearance that can only be put down to plastic surgery. While she isn't too outspoken when it comes to her past procedures, she has opened up once before about the reason behind her choice to go under the knife. Quote, "For me, everybody says, oh my gosh, she's had her 3rd face transplant, but I've had 1 nose job, and everyone gets so upset. Like, why don't I talk about it? No one's ever asked me." She also revealed that she has done injections, but not really Botox, because when she tried it, her face responded horribly to it. But all the surgery was probably because of something deeper. In fact, later in an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe explained how she experienced body image insecurity when doing photo shoots with her sisters, saying they would receive racks and racks of clothes, and I was told by so many different stylists I was given about 2 or 3 pieces of clothing, but not to worry because I would be in the background anyway, which is pretty unfortunate because being treated like that would honestly upset anybody. Our final 2 celebs are combined. They are the Olsen twins. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were child stars in the 90s, appearing on the hit show Full House. But after their success as child stars, they stepped away from Hollywood and began experimenting with drinking and substance use. Also, plastic surgery. They used to be cute. Now they look like moms that smoke a lot, one Reddit user said. Another saying, "Maybe it's just me, but they look like those Easter Island giant head statues."
Number 10, Kendall Jenner. Now there have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on screen. Each and every member of this family has been accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest of her family. In side-by-sides, Kendall's eyes are actually larger than they once were, as well as more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there's no way she could achieve this look just by using makeup, unless, there's some special magical substance that yanks your face back, which probably exists, but it's suspicious, which is basically what a ponytail facelift is, so it's really the only real explanation. Number 9, Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. Side-by-sides from her Disney days till now show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of cheek fillers, but her eyes are a lot more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past, designated to enhance features without the need of invasive surgeries. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently has. It comes as no surprise to learn that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and has adamantly denied that she has received any major surgeries over the years. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from her Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. Now, while it's never been confirmed if she's actually received any kind of work, just watching her on screen is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo that a lot of people grew up with has vanished into thin air. Number 8, Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery is becoming so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to the ones that are taken this year, it is night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are a lot more almond-shaped, and Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving this treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time, and in 2018 she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery could do to her face. While this ponytail surgery is not the most extreme surgery there is, it's still an invasive one, and it's one of the more sensitive areas of your face to take care of, but that's okay as long as nothing gets, injected into your eyeballs, right? Everything's fine. Number 7, Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. What's good, Miley? No, she denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages, and over the years, fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both on her face and on her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns, but as with many things involved with her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work, right? Whether it's plastic surgery or not, she just looks different. Side by sides show that Nicki didn't have these naturally almond eyes like she has now when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her face, because it looks different. Number 6, Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers, maybe some rhinoplasty. The jury's still out on whether she had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far as denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so who knows? We can't ignore the changes that we've seen this year. The singer has been rumored to have even more cosmetic surgeries towards the end of this year, causing her to look unrecognizable. The redhead that we loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems like a totally different person. Ariana's eyes are more almond shaped, she has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles, and she never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received surgery or not, but the face that we know and love is hidden behind a new Ariana. Number 5, Kim Basinger. Kim Basinger is a former model whose face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she has had some kind of work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to express, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claims that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes, and these could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables like Botox. She has also clear lines around her mouth area, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin is also much fresher and has more of a complexion. This could be due to several factors like laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nazab agreed and added that he believed that she might have also had a fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped eyes behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman that there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid any Botox, any other skin treatments, just listen to Ireland's mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all those years. She wrote it on an Instagram post. Kim herself has never addressed speculation surrounding her looks. Number 4, Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled, but as the years went by, it seemed like those crow's feet vanished into thin air, and by the time this past year rolled around, she made a return to the mainstream, starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday. She was a completely different human being, according to fans. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look like. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills, and she never confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and face conditions. Number 3, Lil Kim. For the past 25 years, she's been pushing the boundaries as a female rapper and breaking records. Lil Kim's also considered to have pioneered mainstream love-positive feminism in hip-hop and has carved a path for many contemporary artists like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Cash Doll. In addition to her unique sound and lyrical matters, she's known for her breathtaking, flamboyant fashion style and advocacy work for various causes. However, the American rapper served as an unforgettable MTV moment that made heads turn a few years ago. It's tough to deny her natural presence and beauty. After her lip surgery and a series of facial surgeries, she became unrecognizable to fans. Literally, people at her concerts were like, "Hey, who's that?" This speaks volumes, especially in front of the people who adore you the most. It also means that Lil Kim had too much work done. Staying relevant in the scene can be challenging as more female rappers rise to fame. Unfortunately, Lil Kim's attempts to fix her perceived natural flaws took her commanding presence and gorgeous looks away. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic family comedy The Parent Trap. She played twin sisters Hallie Parker and Annie James, who randomly meet at a summer camp and discover their parents split them up when they were babies. The twins then hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together, and it is a great movie. I love it so much. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in cult classics like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Mean Girls as, the main character, Cathy Heron. Unfortunately, her character took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she served 84 minutes in jail. Yes, minutes. Some people spend years in jail, but Lindsay got a little warning because she's Lindsay Lohan. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, and she decided to take that time to make some cosmetic adjustments. She got some work done to herself, and the little Lindsay that we grew up with is now trapped behind a thin layer of silicone. Number 1, Cardi B. Cardi B has never been coy about the plastic surgery procedures that she's had done. During an Instagram Live in December 2022, she talked about a procedure she had done to her butt years ago, and it gave her followers a word of advice while doing so. Following the birth of her son, Wave, in 2021, Cardi B said that people thought she had work done when in reality she had gotten surgery in August to have 95% of her bipolymer bum injections removed. She went on to say that you should do your research and listen to doctors, and not just with, injections, but also anything involving your rear and all the other plastic surgeries and cosmetic surgeries as well. Like, really, just double check your sources, people. In 2019, the rapper got candid about having to cancel and postpone shows because of the need to recover from liposuction. And on Twitter, she talked about having to miss work for 2 weeks because of it. That same year, Cardi also told Entertainment Tonight that she had a chest lift after giving birth to her daughter, Culture, and was unhappy with needing to take time off. So Cardi's biggest thing is not that the procedures are bad themselves, but with the recovery time that it seems to take. Well, fear no more, Instalift is probably on its way, which is, I don't know, maybe that's a thing. I'm not a scientist. Number 10, Madonna. What is there to say about this woman's career? Madonna has been stuck in our heads since we first heard her hits like Material Girls and Crazy for You. What may have also gotten stuck in your head though was just how gorgeous this woman once was. In the 1980s, Madonna was well known for her stylish duds and big blonde hair, at times channeling some serious Marilyn Monroe energy. It was unfortunate that Madonna felt the need to fall into the world of plastic surgery and injections as she got older. Photo comparisons from the 80s to now showcase the major changes, with her forehead appearing to be pushed out, as well as her cheeks and her lips being filled with enough Botox to give her the appearance of someone wearing a mask of Madonna over their own face. What's more is this combination seems to have molded her eyes into the almond shape of the cat. Fans have always been left wondering what she may have looked like if she never got any surgery. Would she still be a material girl, or would that material be riddled with stain? Number 9, Kendall Jenner. There have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on our screens. Each and every member of that family are accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest. In side-by-sides, Kendall's eyes are actually a little bit larger than they once were, as well as more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there is no way she could have achieved this look by simply using cosmetics, unless they have some kind of a magical substance that yanks your face back, but it probably exists, but that's still very suspicious. Number 8, Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery has become so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to ones taken this year, it's night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are more almond-shaped and cat-like. Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving the treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time. In 2018, she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery may do to her face. While cat eye is not considered to be plastic surgery, it's still an invasion of one of the most sensitive areas of your face. But I guess that's okay. As long as nothing gets injected into her eyeball, everything's fine. Number 7, Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. The side-by-sides from her Disney days show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of a cheek filler, but her eyes are much more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past designed to enhance features without the need of invasive surgery. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently possesses. It comes as no surprise that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and has adamantly denied that she has received any kind of major surgeries. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. While it's never been confirmed if she actually received any work, just watching her on screen these days is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo we once knew has vanished into thin air. Number 6. Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. What's good? No, she just denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages. Over the years, fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both in her face and her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns. But as with many things involving her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work on her face. Side-by-sides show that Nicki did not have naturally shaped almond eyes when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her eyes, because they're not the right shape now. Number 5. Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers or maybe even a rhinoplasty done. The jury's still out on whether or not she's had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far to denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so it's kinda wishy-washy. We can't ignore the changes that we have seen in the past few years. The Santa Tell Me singer has been rumored to have had even more cosmetic procedures towards the end of 2022, causing her to look almost unrecognizable. The redhead that we all loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems to be a totally different person now. Ariana's eyes are more almond shaped, and she now has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles that she just never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received the surgery or not, but the face that we all knew and loved is hidden behind this new Ariana. Number 4. Kim Basinger. The 69-year-old actress and former model's face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she's had some work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to express his side, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claimed that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes. These could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables such as Botox. She also has clear lines around her mouth, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin also seems to be fresher with a more even complexion. This could be due to several factors, such as laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nizab agreed and added that he believed she might have also had a fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped eyes behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid Botox and any other skin treatment, he said, ladies, if you want to avoid Botox or other skin treatments, listen to my mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all these years. Yeah, she wrote that on Instagram. I don't think that's true. Kim herself has never actually addressed the speculation surrounding her looks, but number 3, Renee Zellweger. When we first met Renee in the cult classic Empire Records, she was a baby face with bangs and brown lipstick, but nowadays she is unrecognizable. After making a name for herself starring as Bridget Jones, she continued to star in several comedies and romantic flicks alongside performers like Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves, and Tom Cruise. In 2019, she reinvented herself, appearing on the show What If on Netflix. Fans were shocked to see the differences between her 90s glory and her current state. Her eyes were noticeably smaller, her cheeks were more pronounced, and according to several sources, she had received cat eye surgery a few years back to help combat the effects of aging. What it accidentally did was make it so that Renee always looked like she's squinting. While she delivered a solid performance on the show, fans were distracted by the stiff facial features of their main actor. Number 2, Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled, but as the years went by, it seemed like the crow's feet vanished into thin air. By the time this past year rolled around and she made a return to the mainstream starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday, she was a completely different human being. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills. She's never actually confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's pretty impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and condition of your face. Number 1. Jocelyn Wildenstein. This New York socialite is no stranger to the world of media. Ever since the mid-1990s, she's been famous around the world for being a literal cat woman, having received so many plastic surgeries that she now resembles a cat. I don't know, she looks more like a lion to me, but lion woman doesn't have as nice of a ring to it. Her journey started with the titular cat eye surgery, but it was just the first in many steps to get that perfect face. According to her friends and family, the surgeries were not intended to give her a Barbie-like face, but rather that of a lynx, which had apparently been her pet for a while. While she wasn't famous for a long time, it was the photos that were shared following her divorce from husband Alec that got her into the mainstream. Most of the attention was drawn to her looks, and she was quickly dubbed the Catwoman by the entire world. Despite being worth millions of dollars, Jocelyn has faced financial struggles over the past few years, and at one point even being sued by American Express for owing them $70,000 in credit. Her cat eyes may be trapped behind a massive layer of plastic and silicone, but they will always be the first step taken down the rocky road.